It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Why, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we are serving up just a double dose of a dish on this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning
Gotta lubricate the throat there.
hit soap opera Days of Our Lives. If you haven't noticed already, it's just the two of us. Michael Mattis and Tony Moore, just the two of us. Talking about Days of Our Lives, yeah. All right, because everybody else is busy. So shout out to Justin, who is working, Araceli, who has 11 people in her house always. So she's doing family stuff. So you are stuck on this wonderful Mother's Day with the two top tier mamas, me and Michael Mattis. That's right. But if you haven't already, make this. Oop, I don't know how to do. Whatever.
This is what you get today, guys. Wait, where's my balloons? Where's the balloons?
You gotta do the.
Can I bring them?
Oh, there they are. It doesn't work for me. All right. Well, if you guys haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, X, Twitter, and Threads. And also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. On this lovely Mother's Day, give us the wonderful gift of subscribing to our channel, where you can not only find the latest episode of Dishin Days, but you can also find other episodes of Dishin Days, plus many interviews and our interviews at the Emmys and Day of Days of yesteryear. So check it all out on our YouTube channel right now. Well, not right now, because you're watching this live. Or maybe you're listening to us later. So afterwards, check it out. And make sure you listen to us on your favorite podcast station. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. In case you can't watch us live and in living color, make sure you listen to us while you're stuck in traffic, moving furniture, or just milling about your day. We can always catch you up on your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives, unless you're like me, who forgot to upload last week's episode and had a gentle reminder from a friend as he was looking for it. And I said, well, it's uploaded now. So there's that. Also, make sure you show some love to the big mama himself, my chocolate twin and former co-host James Lott Jr., who is serving up a few spoons, forks, and bowls himself. He is headlining. That's a new one. He is giving you a full recap of Young and the Restless, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, and serving up some original audio dramas. So if you have not subscribed to JLJ Media, make sure you do so now, because James Lott Jr. is the only friend that I know where nothing is older than him. Speaking of being older, shout out to James Lott Jr. on his 5,458th birthday. And shout out to Michael Mattis, who is celebrating his second birthday.
Yeah, my second birthday.
Times that by 100.
Thanks. Yeah, there we go. You're
welcome.
Thank you. Here, we'll put the balloons up again.
This show does not make you forever young. So yes, happy birthday to James Lott Jr. and Michael Mattis. Michael Mattis, what did you do for your birthday?
Went to brunch and then just spent the day with the Hubs and Bimby. So nothing too big. Nothing, I can't go crazy anymore.
No Prosecco? No peach vodka?
I said I went to brunch. That's where Prosecco at brunch.
That's where all the Prosecco happened, at brunch.
Bimby is napping. Someone asked where Bimby is. Bimby is taking his siesta on the couch right now.
Well, Bimby had a long day yesterday, celebrating Michael Mattis' birthday. Yeah, so there's that. Well, Michael Mattis, since it's just the two of us, what did you think of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives?
I feel like we got some nice movement this week, past 2 weeks actually. We got some forward motion in a lot of stories and some like finally, or at least one like finally moment. Yeah, it was pretty decent. Pretty decent.
I thought this week was a much better week.
Mm.
I felt like it was really a lot of stories are moving forward. Yep, see, a lot of stories were moving forward, and I find it very interesting how they are doing a particular storyline,
Okay.
and we will get into that. So, Michael Mattis, are you ready to dive into the depths of our favorite soap opera days of our lives?
I'm more ready to jump versus dive, but yes. Or
What's the difference?
diving, you actually have to like, you know, do like that.
Diving is head
Jump.
first, and jumping is just its feet.
Jumping is just, yeah,
Thank you, Michael Mattis, for that demonstration and letting me know
like
what
that.
the difference is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's our favorite part of the show. Well, one of them, because we have many. It is now time to start.
mm, mm, mm. Dishin Days. You didn't even say it.
I let you do it because it's your birthday.
Oh, thanks.
And we're going to set it and forget it. All right. So let's kick off our first storyline, which is maybe Marlena should be the one on standby.
That was my thought. Going through, once they went through that whole scenario and got Maggie over there, first of all, I'm very disappointed that Maggie didn't figure shit out on her own. I was really hoping that like this was like some part of a plan of hers, but no, she was really in the dark about it, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then they gave her that charm and we're like, this is connected to us. If you ever need help, Steve or I, and I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, you get Marlena in there. I trust Marlena to kick Constantine's ass more than I do Steve and John right now.
Listen, when they handed her that, I was like, are they handing her a life alert? That's basically
Hit the
what it
button.
is. It's a
Hit
life
the
alert
button.
in the shape of a cross. It also reminded me of The Bodyguard. Remember when
Oh,
Frank
she had
Farmer
the.
gave Rachel Marin the cross and it had
Mm-hmm.
that
Yep.
thing on there? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I will
Mm-hmm.
say this: I was so fascinated by how they did this because we said last week you weren't here, but we said last week
Mm-hmm.
that that last time when oh my god, that card aggravates me so. It's so like I don't know if you saw last week's show, Michael Madness, but I just feel like he's just all
He does the way he did. Yeah, the way he ran up, he was just like, it's right. It's
like I'm like, oh my
comical.
gosh. But when he did it the last time, we noticed that, and this is kudos to Drake Hogerson just to leave this Easter egg for us that John kind of tilted his head back and he was kind of mouthing something.
Mm.
And then he tilted forward. And then he was the pawn. And we were like,
What he did?
wait a minute. And now we know that like him and Marlena had figured it out and had basically, I guess, deprogrammed him a little bit or make him more in control of the situation by giving
Yeah.
him a mantra, which I
Mm-hmm.
have forgotten at the moment. But
I don't remember it either.
yeah, it's something about positive thoughts like negates negative vibes or something like that. I don't know.
He's good
But
enough. He's smart enough, and doggone it, people like him.
you is kind,
You
you
is
is
well. You is
smart,
kind.
you is important. But I thought it was I thought it was a not Constantine running around like Humpty Dumpty with that car. Thank you, Ethel. But it's comical how he flashed that car. Yes, Debbie, 100%. But I hearing the story of how they figured it out, they still didn't explain why he went to the safe before Constantine asked him to.
No, well, I mean, no, they didn't really explain that in depth, just that it happened. And I think that was just something we were supposed to just accept.
Mm-hmm. And
You know what
Fitz,
I
I
mean?
think.
I was like, I didn't think, oops, I didn't really,
Oh, that was me. I did that.
oh, my bad.
That was
I
okay.
didn't think too much of that. I just kind of went with it.
Yeah,
I was like,
I,
whatever moves the story along. Yeah, good, great.
I,
Y'all have
I
the real
did the
prenup,
same.
great.
I was like, okay, listen, I will, just whatever. I'll stand with
Exactly.
open arms. But I thought it was great, but I felt bad for Maggie. But like you, I was really hoping that she was gonna say, like they would say all that, and she would go, "Do you guys think I'm dumb?"
Exactly. Yeah. Like she would reveal like she knew.
Yeah, it's like I knew this all along.
Mm.
Thanks for catching up. Now, how are
Yeah.
we gonna get the SOB? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I wanted that, but she's just she's just so kind-hearted, and even though she thought she was two steps ahead, you know,
Yeah.
Constantine was a little bit further than her. So
Not anymore.
not no more. Not with that Walker.
No. I still like the fact that Steve and John are in. Thank God Marlena's there, though. I don't say that a
Yeah.
lot, but thank God Marlena's there because I feel like of the three of them, Marlena's probably going to be the one to like make sure it all goes smoothly and doesn't
Yes.
F it up.
Oh my God, someone said I need a card on the shirt merch. Oh my God, that would
And then you just run up to people and like,
and
wow.
just flash it. Um, oh my gosh, I wonder if we could. Could we?
Like that actual design.
I feel like someone else would have to like design it. Or I wonder if it could be like that with those colors, but it says pawn. I need to write that down.
Christian brought up something that I noticed too. When Maggie was like, Constantine bought me flowers. And Marlene was like, sweet. Look, bitch, we got a problem here.
It did give very much that. Like she was like, it's like she might as well have just said, that's cute. Anyway, I need you over here. Like yesterday.
Now.
Um
Neo.
pawn card. Okay, I actually really did write that down. Because that's actually is a kind of a good idea. I love that. Everyone's like, yes, do a merch with the card. Okay, y'all say all this and then y'all don't buy it.
They'll be like, mm, nah.
Rude. Um, but yeah, I suspected I actually felt smart because for the first time I actually like said something and got it right. Um, but geez, no one still likes him. Sarah ain't for it. Xander's not for it. Xander was like, listen,
Sarah was trying to like, be like the benefit of the doubt part of the situation and like, but yeah, now that he like he showed his butt a little bit when she was like, I
no,
didn't give my
Maggie,
money to the no, you can't do that, Maggie.
you cannot do that,
I was like,
Maggie.
okay, aggro, like you're
Right.
try
Like, goodness
harder.
gracious. Um, yeah, and Xander was like, listen, I'm not hiding it. Like, y'all
Mm-mm.
can't see it. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Can we also
Mm-hmm.
talk about how they now kept mentioning Xander's mom?
Yeah, I feel like that whole conversation with him and Sarah. I feel like that's. I mean, yeah, I feel like with some news that we got a couple, not a couple years ago, a couple weeks ago, and now this very pointed conversation about his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's a foreshadowing for something, and I think we've talked about how we have like Xander's mother, there's a relation to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But we're waiting for it to come to fruition before we say it. Which they're
I
taking their time with this. It'll probably be a while, but we'll see.
I really felt like that was definitely a seed
Hmm.
with the discussion of the mother, and it's being planted, and now we have to wait for it to bloom. Sort of like the
Hmm.
orchid that they needed for Kayla, Marlena, and Kate.
Hmm.
So let's see. Richie has a thought. He says, I think the only reason why Victor shared his wealth with only Maggie and Xander is because Victor loves her and Victor has a lot of regret with Xander. Brady and him had a fallout after the baby arc. Okay. Now, granted, we know it's not Xander.
Well, wait. Let's go back to this will
Oh, Xander,
for
yes, it is Xander. Sorry.
let's go back to this will for a minute, where he only accounted for Alex and Maggie.
Uh
Was
huh.
this? I can't remember. Was this will validated as legit, or was this, or do we think it's a fake will?
Well,
Because it's very
remember,
convenient. Because I'm trying to remember all of the details, and it's been like months of story going by. So
I think,
I'm trying to remember if when the will came out and they discovered it was it was only 50-50 Maggie and the son, who's Alex, um, if the will was validated as real. Because he changed it, didn't he? Wasn't there something about he changed it at the last minute?
yeah. And wasn't it found like at the crash site because he went to change his will?
Yeah, something like that.
And I think that's where the
Well, and they
added,
said Lawler reminded, yeah, it went through probate, the legal process.
yeah. So
So, I mean, I guess because now I'm like, well, do we do we know if that was real or if it was, another Constantine thing?
I
Like if
think
he changed it, but
I think
maybe
I
not.
think maybe the new will said something about his son, but then that the letter is what was altered.
Hmm. Right,
So
right, 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 right.
they only had to verify the son by that letter,
Hmm.
which is not Alex, it's Xander.
Hmm. Right.
And yeah, as far as I remember.
Yeah, as far as I remember too. Now it's all coming back to me.
It's all coming
Coming
back, it's all
back, all
coming back
coming
to
back
me
to me
now.
now.
Um
Moments, little flashes of light.
they are taking a long time with these storylines, but I'm actually
Hmm.
not mad at the slow development of it all.
I mean, it'll make the payoff better.
I
That's the
think
one benefit of like a long game storyline is once it finally is out, it feels like a bigger payoff, I guess.
I think sorry. I think it just adds layers to it, right? Because like
Hmm.
when Sarah brought up Xander's mom, I was like, and it just
Hmm.
makes me more interested in the story rather than like if during probate they found out, wait, it was altered. You know what I mean? Like there's something
Hmm.
about just let it simmer.
Hmm.
Don't nook it in the microwave. Just let it simmer. You know, let them milk the storyline just a little bit. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah. All
but they're
right.
gonna have to do better with reminders because it's so far and few in between that we forget certain things about it.
Yeah.
Like just
We get annoyed when they overuse flashbacks, but then we get annoyed when they underuse flashbacks. Like sometimes we need a little reminder.
I don't mind a little flashback, just a little one,
Right.
just a like a reminder. Thank you.
Hmm.
You know. Hmm. All right. Well, that was that storyline. I feel like we are gonna zippity doo dah, zip doo day. Um, now we are moving on to oh baby.
Mm.
This is not Nicole's baby, but this is the
Hmm.
baby of Chanel and Johnny. Um, again, I'm sitting here like this. Oh, you missed it. Because last week, Michael Mattis, I asked the question, um, who were the last African American babies that we had? I thought it was Theo, but then I remembered Jules and
Carver
Carter.
and yeah.
Yeah. But, and I'm not trying to make it like a race thing or anything like that. However, I just started thinking about like how Jada had to abort her baby. And actually, then Sal had a, not Sal, Lonnie had a miscarriage.
Yeah. Before she actually was, before the twins were actually born, I think the
Yeah,
previous pregnancy was a miscarriage. Yeah.
yes. And that was with JJ.
Oh, you're right. That's
Yeah.
right. Hmm.
So there was that. So, but Jules and Carver are not on the canvas.
Right.
But it was just one of those things for a moment where I was just like, can we have an African
A
American
baby of
baby
color
that,
that doesn't have an issue. Like, I mean, and
yeah,
baby, like, it's common for any baby to have an issue. Like Nicole, with her pregnancy, there was something, I think. It's common to have, like, whenever there's a pregnancy, some kind of complication. Like, you can
mhm,
almost expect it from any pregnancy, but there does seem to be a pattern
mhm.
um, of non-white babies on this show. So yeah, I
Oh,
see your point. Let's have, a baby of color that
just
doesn't
happened.
have yeah, like let them just, smooth pregnancy. Let the drama be about something else.
Yeah. Oh, they were saying that it was believed to be JJ's, but it was Eli's, and the baby died after birth.
Mm.
Got it. Um,
My memory of events as I get older just gets like I remember stuff that happened on the show like 96, 97, 98, 98, but now I'm like, oh, 2 years ago?
I can
Couldn't
tell
tell
you
you.
when I wasn't watching the show,
Yeah, exactly.
because I just talked about it. Like it was that period, that sorority period with Ford and um, Chelsea and um, Morgan. I think Morgan Hollingsworth. Um, like that time period, I wasn't watching, and then I somehow got back into it. Anyway, that was a side note, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just this because when you think about this particular storyline, the only reason why they're having complications and now they're having a complicated relationship is because Paulina was not thinking with the right mind and
Hmm.
didn't like stop and get like a hazmat suit or like some makeshift sort of like hazmat thing and
Hmm.
went to go save the day,
Hmm.
which exposed them to radiation, which they're fine. But because of that exposure, the baby could like, either have,
Have some kind of defect, yeah.
yes,
Which and it seems like they don't know what that defect
yeah,
could be, and so that's the reason it's a uh it's a bit of a what am I trying to say here? A precarious situation.
yeah.
What is it? Getting
Fun fact:
it?
getting a snowplow is easier than getting a hazmat suit in Salem.
I mean, Sarah had one. She could have just stolen Sarah's if she knew where she
Yeah,
kept it.
I mean, I feel like there was something hanging in the closet, and it would have
I don't
been
know. And to be
just
honest,
fine.
that whole, like, obviously, like, we were all wondering, they were like, what's the point of this happening when, she was doing the treatment, she was radioactive, she went to find Chanel, Chanel was found, it was all wrapped up very quickly, and we are like, okay, what's the point of this? Well, it's becoming clear that the point of it was to cause problems for this pregnancy. But it just seems like a bit forced, I guess. Like,
Yes,
it just I'm going with it, but it's not resonating with me as a organic kind of situation.
Yeah, because because it's preventative. That's why it could have been prevented had she just, I don't know, made a left and got a hazmat suit. Like
it was just all of that for this, when, if they wanted to make a pregnancy storyline for Chanel and Johnny and have it be, a possibility of an issue, like there's so many other ways it could have happened than this. And I understand, because now it creates drama for Chanel and Paulina, and they haven't really had drama in the past. So there's layers of drama. There's the baby, there's the relationship with the mom and everything. It's just, again, it feels forced and not organic.
Yeah. And did you ever stop to think that she didn't even need a snowplow to save Chanel? Like, she was literally not too far from the Horton house, and she was just like spraying her leg.
Yeah. And then, and they're saying like, oh, that's the funny thing. Like, she was just down there and her leg was stuck. Like, Johnny would have found her 2 minutes later or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
It was just a bit of an outlandish situation to cause. It could have been done another way that wasn't so outlandish and nonsensical.
Yeah.
But here we are. Plus, there's the other part of it is the EJ aspect, and we didn't really see that this week about him versus Paulina. We didn't really see that this week.
But also the Chanel Paulina dynamic again, because she was just like, "Happy Mother's Day, but I don't want to see you," and she still forced her way over. And I was like, "Ooh, talk about somebody who does not know how to read the room." Chanel finally had to just say, "I don't want to see you." Bye.
Okay.
My baby is having a baby, and I just want to make sure that you have everything you need, Chanel. That's my Paulina impersonation. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
So we'll just see. At least it's at least we can also see just the dynamic of the relationship that Johnny and Chanel have, and how like they're having conversations. And I love the moment where she said, "I've been saying how I feel about this. How do you feel about this?"
Johnny is definitely a man of the times, where he respects like a woman's right to choose. He respects that it's her body, and was really kind of letting her, even stood up to EJ when EJ started going all EJ about it and was like, well, this baby's a Demira, blah blah blah. And Johnny stood up to him, and good for Johnny.
And he stood up for her when Paulina came in. Because if you notice, she stood behind him, and he was like, "Thanks, Paulina, we're good." Like, And
I know I feel like he was trying to tread a little bit. He was trying to tread a little bit lightly, and like side with his wife without creating any more tension,
but respect her mother at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he could have looked at her and said, "Paulina, get the out of here."
Get out of my house.
But
not his house, but well. And then the other part of this was there was an article written about it that Bobberette published. That Bobberette and what's her name?
Stephanie.
That part of it I was very not tuned into, but yeah, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And I really, now in this moment, I really don't know what the significance of all that was.
Yeah, I don't know. It was there was a lot that happened in that, and are we going to cover that at some point?
I think I made it part of this.
A part of this?
Yeah, I think I made it.
Oh yes, you did. Yep. Okay, because here's the thing with that, right? Number one, there was a couple of things that were going on. One, Bobberette wrote the article, published, right? But Stephanie, knowing Paulina and being Paulina's previous PR person who hadn't been used in a while, really still wanted to make sure that like this was not going to be a rocky road for her. But also, can we talk about Barbarette? Because it is giving DID for sure. I'm ready for Barbarette. Baba leave out of here. Thanks, Dylan. But it's very interesting that like there is a slight what?
The way like he was on his computer and they were like, "Oh, let's
Yes.
check our calendars."
And then he came
How does
across the divorce papers.
and then I was like, "Okay, how did those come up in your calendar?"
No idea.
They came up and
But
then he was just like and it made me giggle the way he like and they like did such a close up on his eyes and it was so menacing. And I was like, what is this? Like
that was, I guess, him turning into Bobby
him
because
turning into Bobby, yeah. Because then
when
he
he
went
went
and started hitting
over.
on the tramp at the bar.
Well, don't call her a tramp. She was just getting off work. Although I was like, "What job you got?" But she was just getting off work,
She was like,
and he's like, "I'm Bobby," and I was like,
yeah.
"You who? Who?"
Like Burris.
But and I
Hmm?
I need to see more of how this goes because
Mm-hmm.
when this storyline happened with Marcy Miller, to which I am still very upset that she didn't win a daytime Emmy that year
Mm-hmm.
because I thought she was very deserving. I thought that Marcy was so brilliant in the way that she portrayed all of those different characters. And it was always it was slight, but it was clear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see how Blake is going to not to compare because you shouldn't compare, but I'm curious to see how Blake is going to take this on and
Mm-hmm.
what he's going to do to indicate which character or person that he is. Because right now we only know um, Bobby and Everett.
Mm-hmm. I can kind of tell when he turns into Bobby because there's a like a little more. Oh, hello.
Oh, thank you, Mick Floyd. Appreciate that. Oh, not you stopping by just to say Bobby has BDE. If you guys
What's
don't know what
funny is
BDE is, then
along those lines. I was gonna say because when he has a little more suave to him, he has a little more
mhm.
charisma. He's and a calmer energy than Everett does. Everett's like a little bit higher on the energy scale, and Bobby is a little bit lower, but he's more like suave, I guess.
Yeah. Bobby's a little more
As
laid back,
seen
and
when he
Everett is a
went,
little more high strung.
exactly.
Because
Okay,
someone, Bobby is blunt in his speeches. Everett articulates, oh, and Bobby always smirks. Okay. So I feel like this. I feel like we need to start playing a game.
oh,
Ilya Cantu. You are
she's like,
tuning
okay.
in right on time, honey, because we are talking about Barbarette. Okay, but I think we need to
Thank you, Elia.
we need to like pay attention to the differences between Bobby and Barbarette. I mean Bobby
Mm-hmm.
and Everett.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I want everyone to do this. When you're watching this or when you watch this later, please go down in the comments and let us know the differences between Bobby and Barbarette that you're noticing. So put Bobby does XYZ, Everett does XYZ, and we're gonna keep a running tally of those differences so
A
that way we
virtual whiteboard,
know.
if you will.
Yeah, so that way we know 2 + 2 = 4 and 5 + 5 = 10. Which time is Blake Bobby and which time is he Everett?
Yeah.
So yes. Oh, and Ilya
Oh,
says
we forgot
happy,
to.
hey y'all, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. What?
I think we forgot to say that at the top, did we? Happy
I
Mother's Day to
mentioned
everybody, or
I
did you?
mentioned Mother's Day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
But
good.
I'll also mention it later on in the show as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, people are already okay. Right now, people are saying Bobby is slinky, slinked around.
He did. He did. He was just kind of like, "How you doing?"
Everett is more nerdy, and Bobby is condescending. Okay, I think Everett
I
is
don't know if I get.
Bobby.
I don't know if I get condescending from Bobby.
Mm-mm. I think he just has this like, hmm.
He's just more a little bit more carefree, I guess.
Someone said Bobby's personality comes out as soon as he sees Jada's name, which might be true because
I
when
mean,
you saw the
it does seem to when he sees the papers and
yeah,
the signatures.
because he Vita says they changed the music because I feel like this he was typing and then all of
That's
a sudden
also cute.
he saw Robert Stein and he went, you know, oh, Elia said it. She said, "Oh, Bobby is definitely more suave. You'll see eventually." Blake is such a great actor. He's doing a fab job. Oh, thank you. We can't wait to unlock these clues, honey, over
Mm-hmm.
Barbarette. Because right now they're just giving us sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the donut has been made and now they're just adding the powdered sugar. We know what that powdered sugar is.
Oh, that looks bad. But like the yeah,
No, that looks
just
bad
not
too.
gonna. Yeah, I'm
Yep,
just not
no.
gonna.
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
put your
stop.
hands down. Yeah. 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 So okay, yeah. So this week was the first week that we got to see that slight change between Bobby and Everett.
Mm-hmm.
Um and think I think I think Stephanie kinda, it's a small percentage, but kinda picks up on it. Because even
Hmm.
she gets a little like the just happened. You know what I mean? So does somebody have a question for Ilya?
Yes.
When
When
Jada
Jada
first
first started.
started
Oh, I'll let you read it.
when Jada first started talking about her awful ex-husband, did Ilya have any idea where the storyline was going to go? I can probably answer that for her. No, because they never know how things are going to go. I
Nope.
rest my case. They never know because we've said it here before with certain storylines that um, had they had that little piece, they probably would have played something completely different. You know what I mean?
Say, say it again. Sorry.
So like if they knew if they knew about the storyline and where it was going,
Mm,
they would
yeah.
be able to play certain things a little bit better. But when you don't know how to play it.
You don't know, but then you also don't want the knowledge of what's going to happen. I would imagine you may not want the knowledge of what's going to happen to muddy the performance.
Yeah.
Because, like, you want, like, if something happens, you kind of want, I would think you would want to either, as an actor, you would want to have a natural reaction, or as the director or the person running the show, you would want the performer to have a natural reaction. That might
Hmm.
be muddied if they outline everything that's going to happen,
Hmm.
because once that moment comes, they may react differently knowing what's about to happen versus not knowing what's going to happen. So, you
Maybe.
know, maybe,
Um,
exactly.
can we let Ilya know how smoking she looks in her jumpsuits?
You look smoking in your
Oh,
jumpsuits.
yes. Well, because for 2 seconds I was like, Jada don't wear jumpsuits, and I was like, oh, you mean actually Miss Ilya Cantu?
Ilya.
Ilya
Ilya
Cantu.
brings it.
She does. She always brings it
Mm-hmm.
with the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Fashion.
that girl.
Shun.
Shun. Fashion. All right. Well, oh,
What do we think of Jada and her art? What was the oh, let's talk about this. Okay, speaking of the art, the
Mhm.
mentions of Jordan.
Yeah, and
Do we
and
think
and the
this is
fact
like they haven't mentioned Jordan in probably since she died. Or that dude was there. What was his name that had two first names? Evan Christian. Oh,
oh,
there's the
Christian
balloon again.
Maddox, Christian Maddox.
Yes, Evan Christian.
Yes,
Um, but yeah, they kind of made a point for him to mention Jordan and but then I was
but
also
do you
like, why
find
do
it
you have
strange
Jordan's
that
art still up?
but also did you find it
I
strange
mean, he's a
that he
straight man,
didn't?
so he's probably, you know,
Did you find it strange that he did not say that she's dead?
a little bit. Yeah, he just said it ended badly, and it's like, yeah, because she's dead.
Yeah, like I kept wanting to him to say, "Oh, she's passed," or something, and
Hmm.
I like he would say something, and I'd be like, "Cause she's dead," and then it
Now that
didn't
you
come, and
mention
I'd
it,
be like,
yeah,
"Okay,"
I did
and
notice like he just kind of said it ended badly, and not
yeah,
it
because she's
ended
dead,
badly. Also, she's dead
right?
because she got strangled by Evan Christian.
But also, that is a long time to have somebody's art. Well, I mean,
No,
does
he's a
that?
straight man. He no, I fully and Rafe is that straight man that would leave an ex's art up and just be like, "Mm."
Well, I guess
So I buy it.
it's also like um there are friends or people that I've known that have passed, and like their phone number is still in my phone.
Say it again. Sorry.
There are people who have passed,
Mm-hmm.
like passed away,
No.
and their number is still in my phone.
My mom used to use my Netflix, and I haven't deleted her profile yet.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different than an ex boyfriend girlfriend, but yeah.
Maybe he maybe he meant to go to IKEA and never went and picked up something.
I just feel like Rafe is like I keep saying Rafe is that straight man that was just like probably just looks at it and just like
Hmm.
mm.
Hmm. But
But now
the
he's got some
room,
nice stuff in there that was apparently in storage.
yeah. Well, the room looks nice.
Hmm.
Um,
I don't think we've ever seen. Have we seen an interior like of Rafe's house? Have we ever seen something not the kitchen, like an actual bedroom of Rafe's house, or is this a new set? I mean, it kind of looks like they redesigned
Jada's
the pub
room.
bedroom, yeah, and just made it, you know, slap some paint on, and which kudos to them to reuse, recycle, save the planet, whatever. Um, but I don't remember ever seeing like, or at least in the recent times, seeing anything other than the kitchen of Rafe's house.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Oh,
think back if
Ava and Rafe are apparently in his bedroom. Okay.
yeah, but I can't remember what. Okay, if you're watching this, can someone tweet us photos of the bedroom previous to
From before.
yeah.
Okay, apparently we saw his bedroom. I've forgotten.
I mean,
But
I feel like we did, but like I can't remember what it looks like because I don't think we saw it that often. Ava was in
and
the
apparently
kitchen
we
more
saw a
so than
bedroom
anything.
with when Gabby lived there with Jake, we apparently saw a bedroom. So all right.
Hmm.
We've never seen John and Marlena's kitchen. No, we haven't.
We have not seen anything past. Oh no, I take that back. We have. I was gonna say we have not seen anything past the living room, but then there was when she was the devil. And can you also
We saw
side
their
note?
bedroom.
Yes.
Hmm.
Can you imagine being possessed in that penthouse and still going to bed like? Remember when I was possessed on this bed? Hmm.
Remember when I levitated
Hmm.
multiple times?
Remember when there was an exorcism? Hmm.
Remember when Kristen was Eileen Davidson? Oh,
I didn't freeze. um. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, now let's move on to the next baby storyline, which is Sloany Baloney isn't phony.
EJ went to Rolf to make sure that what Sloan was saying was accurate.
But listen, and I did this last week. You gotta give kudos to Sloan for just flipping the script like that and being like, no, EJ, it's not your baby. It's Eric and Nicole's. And if you want to save your relationship, like I do mine, keep your mouth shut. I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen someone have EJ by the balls.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of needed because he was getting a little too big for his britches. So,
And it took Sloan to kind of
and now he's got that. He's
checkmate.
got that.
You got the shake. Well, I would have the shakes
shaky
too
hand.
if you're the CEO of DeBeer Enterprises, the DA of Salem, and now you got to deal with saving your relationship.
Now a warning.
Now a warning. Now a warning.
Now a warning. As much as I've gone back and forth with the character of Sloan. Sometimes I've liked her. Sometimes I haven't liked her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of like that she was able to flip it on EJ.
Yeah, that was smart.
So the results that are in the safe, because I originally thought that's how it was all going to come out. Someone was going to find those results in the safe. But now that EJ knows, I guess someone else can still find them. For a moment I was like, okay, what's the point of those results being in the safe now? If they weren't going to use that for like a reveal or in the story,
they forgot because I also think I also think those results though, if I remember correctly, Sloan thought she switched them out.
Mm-hmm.
But I
the real
think
the real ones,
the actual ones are in the safe because remember he wrote a number on them. What?
Oh, the chat room is saying Nicole probably finds them, or someone in the house, someone else in the house.
Holly.
Oh, she does live in the house. They would just have to come up with a situation where she needs to like get into the safe,
She probably doesn't even know there's a safe there,
or she's trying to sneak, or she's trying to get something out of the safe, like trying to be sneaky.
Well, she can't pass through the tunnels because it's being fumigated.
Oh yeah, thank you, Stefan. Did Stefan say that?
EJ said
Stefan
that.
said that.
Oh, Stefan did say that. Sorry. Stefan did say that. This is what I mean by this actually has made this storyline even more interesting because we've been waiting for someone to find out. And just when you thought like, oh, here we go, it's about to be over, they said, "Skrrr." Nope, we're just adding a layer. And I'm like, oh, that's actually
brilliant. Could Leo still tell Nicole? Because Leo
could.
I mean, he's still out there. You have to try to keep him shut up somehow. Yeah.
Maybe this is what makes EJ pay him out.
Oh, true.
And keep him quiet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, EJ does not seem interested in the truth coming out. So
no. That last scene on Friday when he looked at Nicole holding that baby, he's like this is harder than or some whatever he said at the end, and I was like,
okay, and I'm okay. Is Sloan okay with Nicole being around the baby now?
Apparently,
is it me, or do they keep flip flopping that?
They do.
Because she was like, "Oh, do you mind watching her?" And I was like, "Weren't you just a couple weeks ago not wanting her around, or was that just for show?"
It was a few months ago.
Not wanting Nicole around. I'm just like, I can't keep straight about whether she is okay with Nicole being around the baby, not okay with Nicole. If I was keeping a secret that this child was this, like, I would not want the child to be around the actual mom.
But I think she can only do that for so long before things start being suspicious. Like she can only hold that Nicole kidnapped the baby over her
Mhm.
head for so long because Nicole is supported by Eric.
But she's not even making an effort. She's literally handing the baby to Nicole. I remember
Well,
when Lexi knew that Isaac was Hope's. She did everything she could to keep Hope from being around that baby.
mhm. Well, listen, when you have a man make you a Mother's Day breakfast in a black apron and black drawers,
And no, no.
I'm like, what you want me to do? I'll do it. I will do it.
Oh,
Do
thank you,
it.
Cherie.
Do it till we're satisfied.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I don't know what else we can talk about. Like, okay, so like, oh, and then Sloan told Melinda.
yeah. I mean, that's it. Like, we just got this
Hmm.
added layer of this
Hmm.
storyline that's been going on forever that now EJ knows, and now EJ
Hmm.
is making the decision to keep it a secret,
Yeah,
which we all understand why.
yeah,
Because
because he
now they
likes
keep
control.
ooh, never gonna stop. Ooh. Um, but we also just see, in true days fashion, as they were strolling through Horton Town Square with Eric pushing Jude next to Nicole, we just get this picture of what life could be. And I'm like, I don't want that life. I want her with EJ.
Hmm. Yeah,
But I don't have a say so.
we ain't in charge of nothing.
We ain't in charge of absolutely nothing. Nothing. Well, maybe some things. Nothing.
Shout out, we have 220 live viewers right now.
We do. But
222.
as someone pointed out last week, they were like, there's only 143 in on the YouTube. And I'm like, oh, well, it's a combined. We have a combined viewing of 221 people. We have a lot of people watching us on X right now.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah. So kudos to you, Mama. Thanks for spilling. So before we move on to tidbits, though, make sure you follow us on social media, y'all. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, X, and Threads. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell a friend. Also, make sure you listen to us on your favorite podcast stations, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And also show some love to James Ott Jr., JLJ Media on YouTube and on your favorite podcast station. Go check him out and tell him that we over at Dishin Days sent you with a signed permission slip from Rachel.
Oh God, that situation.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well,
uh,
keeping on the Demera track with Holly and Nicole, we got Holly's going to prom. Just kidding. No, she's not. Okay, let me ask you this. This should be a poll.
hmm.
Do you think, who do you side with? Nicole or Holly? Do you think Holly should be allowed to go to prom, or do you think Nicole is being too harsh?
I think Nicole's being a little harsh and should allow, despite what happened,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously, like what happened, was not good, but I do feel like Holly hasn't really gotten into trouble since, you know, Nicole kind of laid down the law and kind of took her phone away and did all that. Like let her maybe under some specific conditions, but like a hard no, you can just go next year. Like I'm like, maybe just ease up and show Holly that maybe, give her a chance, give her a chance to fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we've seen Holly again, she hasn't really been acting up. She hasn't really gotten in trouble. So trust her to go to the prom, and it's kind of up to give her the power to mess up or not. That would be my take. Like, let her go maybe under some specific conditions, maybe an early curfew, or someone said, maybe Nicole goes and is a chaperone, which is, I know to a teenager that's not great either, but you're at least
Mm-hmm.
going. But then, Holly kind of, the way she reacted to it kind of sold her fate with the prom, like mom's got to buck up her ass about them. Like, you're not helping your case here, but
Not at all.
I felt I kind of understood. I understood the Holly's frustration.
But I just feel like there has to be some sort of repercussion of what she did. And I don't feel like there's been any of that. Like, she's gotten life back, great. She got her phone taken away. Okay. I can see why Nicole was like, "You're not going to prom." Because I feel like there just hasn't been any sort of proper like punishment for the fact that you took drugs, overdosed, and almost died.
Hmm.
Now, I
I
do
can see your
agree.
point. I can see your point.
I do agree
I
with,
feel like it just shouldn't have been a hard no.
yeah.
But they're also like maybe Nicole has a chance to like rethink it and be like, okay, again, you can go, but under these certain conditions. But again, the way Holly reacted, I also like if I was Nicole and I said no and Holly reacted that way, I would have been like, well, absolutely not now.
Well, now I would have thought about it, but since your little now ass decided to go off on me in the middle of the bistro, you can sit at home on prom night and think about it.
Hmm. No,
That's
she
how that
hasn't
should
regained
happen.
Nicole's trust yet, but it's a chance. It would be a chance for her to show Nicole that she's trustworthy.
Yeah.
And, Nicole didn't want to give her that chance yet.
Um, I am currently, because I realize it's always better to do these things while we're doing the show
So you don't forget it.
so that I don't forget. But I agree with you that her being a chaperone would have been fine too. But
Or like
and
her and
it
EJ could go, or she could have an early curfew, or,
but it also
there
would
were,
have it would have added to the storyline of her and Tate, because I'm pretty sure her and Tate are going to like try to interact at prom, which is why she's all like, "Man," but it
well,
could have.
did I miss it? Did they establish that them going with the other two was like a ploy, kind of like,
It's definitely not a ploy, but it's more like it's almost like a fine, go with her, I'll go with him, but at least we get to like somewhat be around each other. I don't know. Oh, not Holly mentioning. Like, can you imagine if all of a sudden she was like, "What a great mother you are, Misty Circle,"
a
and then
whore?
she
Yeah,
walked out?
exactly.
Oh,
The
well,
part
then
that
she
cracked
definitely will be grounded.
me up, Emily O'Brien as Teresa, being like,
Oh, the
"What a
drama
drama queen!" Like, oh my god, I
with the
cackled.
it was with the straw and everything. Like, oh, what a drama queen!
You
Oh,
are you are lucky to be rid of her.
Oh wait, how should I put this poll? Like, what's the question? Is Nicole being too harsh, or which team are you on?
Just be like, is Nicole being too harsh, not letting Holly go to prom? Yes or no? Would be my anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel
Is
like I feel like Holly and Tate agreeing to go with the other two people. I feel like there was an unspoken understanding between them that like, okay, we're saying we're going with these two, but we're gonna get there and then go off with each other. It was kind of like an unspoken. That's the way I took it.
yeah, same. Hmm.
Hmm.
The whole it, Mother's Day started off so beautifully with the beautiful
Hmm.
speeches and the acknowledgement of
Yeah.
Nicole and what she's going through, and it ended so nasty. And and for Nicole, I would just be so embarrassed because like you did it in the bistro and then you did it in the middle of Horton Town Square, and then you have Sloan and Eric looking like, and then but then it also again furthers the want of Days to put Eric and Nicole together because
Because then Eric had to come in and be like,
and
"Let
make
me talk
sense
to
of it
her."
all. Yeah,
Yeah.
girl.
And I was just like, "What?" And that's what got. They were like, "Okay, Eric's gonna take Holly." I'm like, "Isn't Sloan gonna be bothered by this?" Sloan didn't appear to be bothered by it. Went over to Nicole with the baby, and then was like, "Oh, can you hold the baby while I prepare the bottle?" I'm like, "This does not track." But whatever. I guess I just have to go with it.
I guess we all gonna know Holly. We all gonna have to go with it.
Roll with it.
Rolling. Speaking of rolling, we're gonna roll right on to our next tidbit, which
Oh, Debbie
is
Bright has.
oh,
Who has ever been to a family dinner like that? Ends in drama after all the beautiful words or toasts. Michael Mattis has.
tell us, Michael Mattis.
Oh no, you just my family. The after dinner conversations after everyone's good and good and liquored up. It
Mm-hmm.
got spicy,
Mm.
and my cousins and I always had a front row seat for it
I don't.
while we were trying to watch TV.
I don't think we. I don't think my family's never had a dinner like that. The only thing, and I think I've told this story before. The only thing that I can think of that was kind of like an argument was at a family reunion. A very distant relative was like talking to my cousin and being like, kind of parenting her. She can't do something or whatever. And my aunt caught wind that she was messing with my cousin. And I stood just like this and I looked this way and I saw the relative talking to my cousin. And then I looked this way and I saw my aunt running down this hill, swinging her purse. And I literally, I literally felt like Teresa, where I was like,
The drama.
the drama of this family reunion. Ooh, I'm not ever coming to a family reunion again. So, well, oh, that could be another poll. Hold on, there's so many polls.
So many polls, so little time. Says Misty Circle.
Okay, so the poll is up on our Instagram if you guys want to take the poll about Nicole. But now I'm also going to put a story up that's asking about the questions. Uh, Tell us your family uh, family table drama. So we can hear your stories on if they were very similar to the brunch that Nicole and Holly had. It is a script for a show, Debbie, for sure. All right. Well, now we're moving on to Caviar and Compilation, brought to you by Teresa, Alex, Kristen, and Brady.
Okay, the part of this that bothered me was so
There was a part that bothered you?
Brady. Okay, so here's what Brady came over to the Demir Mansion to pick Rachel up.
Mm-hmm.
Alex showed up, started being all,
Oh,
BDE with
Kristen.
Kristen,
Mm-hmm.
and then Brady was like, "I'm gonna wait in the car." Okay, great. Brady then shows up at Teresa's, and my question is, what happened to Rachel? Did he just leave? Were we supposed to assume that Rachel came downstairs, he took Rachel wherever she was supposed to go, and then went to Teresa's? Or did I miss something?
Yes, you are to assume that Rachel came downstairs, she got dropped off at school, and then he went to Teresa's.
Okay. Because I would
You
have
just you just you just
liked
have to assume it.
some.
Nope, you just have
I
to
would
assume
have
it.
I well I would have liked like, oh, like when he got to
It's
Teresa,
not
like,
about.
I
It's
just
not about
dropped
what you
Rachel
like.
off, and
She doesn't need to know that.
because it made
Michael.
it seem like it looked like I was like, did he just leave Rachel there? Is Rachel just
Mike.
in her room playing
No,
Barbies while
Rachel's in the
Kristen and
car.
Alex are playing something else? Or she's just
Rachel's
sitting in the car like,
Rachel's in the car. Like, I gotta go to school. I gotta go to school. Why am I not
you,
in school? Dad,
you.
I gotta go to school. Okay, so last week we did a poll
Mm-hmm. Oh
asking,
yeah, I saw the result of that.
the results
As
were
did
very
Stacey
close.
Hayduke. What's up,
Yeah,
Stacey Hayduke?
the poll was very close because man, hold on. Let me go find it.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the results. So that poll yielded
There was a first, but then there was a very close, like one, it was like a 1 percentage point.
yes. So Alex and Teresa received 168 votes,
Mm-hmm.
but Kristen and Alex received 171 votes,
Mm-hmm.
like 3 votes difference,
Yeah,
right? But I really think people are loving Kristen and Alex. What do
they
you
do have
think?
a they have a chemistry that's kind of just very I don't know what word to use, but it's I'm trying to think of two other people I can equate it to that had like that kind of it was kind of unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say almost EJ and Abigail when Kate Manzi played Abigail because their
Mm-hmm.
stuff was like hot. And so now we're kind of getting that with Kristen and Alex, where these two characters who haven't really interacted a lot come together, and there's I guess you just call it sexual chemistry between the
Mm-hmm.
two.
Mm-hmm.
And at times I feel like they overdo it maybe a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely added some fire to this scenario.
Allison, you can't unvote. Once you vote, you can't unvote. Can't go back to change it.
Don't do that in November.
Okay.
Okay.
Vote like you got some damn sense. Anyway.
Someone says JJ and Eve. Maybe.
Oh yeah, that was a yeah. It was giving me and Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Robinson, whichever one you want. Um I I'm just kind of like I don't understand why Kristen and Alex just won't be together and just forget about Brady and Teresa. And the other thing that I feel like I didn't like about um about Brady and Kristen's interaction is that it still seems so hostile for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point you should be able to just like talk like adults about your child, pick her up, go to school,
And
go about your day.
it's hard to decipher sometimes with Kristen whether she's being because in the scenes this week it seemed like the hostility was coming from Brady, and that
Right?
there was no hostility coming from Kristen. It was all coming from Brady. But then you have to wonder, like, is Kristen, like, is she putting on a show, like, of like she actually is hostile but not showing it just to try to make Brady more hot, like playing a game.
Yeah.
That's what I always have to wonder about Kristen, or if like she's getting Deed down so good that yeah, that she's actually that in a good mood with Brady. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. It's like just leave it alone.
Hmm.
Just move on. Be like a dream girl. Move, move, move right out of her life. Move it out of her life. Anyway, is there anything else with
Hmm.
that tidbit? Oh, I love that Teresa was like, oh my God, we're going to be set for life. You're going to be set for life.
Spoiler alert, Teresa. No, you won't.
No, you won't, Teresa. I'm
Bless
so
your heart, but no, you
sorry.
won't.
I'm so sorry. You won't be set for life, honey.
You're not going to be having caviar.
Mm-mm. You won't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway. All right, let's move on to the next one. Stefan continues being bad at being a Demera.
Why I said this was because why are you going to out yourself for putting 550, what was it, 50,000?
Yes.
When no one told you that, or Xander didn't tell you that.
He
And then be like,
he
oh, well, it must have been blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you are so bad at this shit. Like,
he
just
messed
stop.
up.
Just be like, you know what? I did it. Yep, you're right. Totally did. Because you don't cover your tracks. You just outed yourself. Like, I expected to look up at Stefano's portrait and him just being like, bad at being a
You
Demira. So stop
horrible.
trying.
Horrible.
The other part of this storyline was Ava and Harris. They found blood. How long have they had this book, by the way?
Maybe a
They got it
day
last week?
or two.
Like a day?
They found it.
How was
They found it last week. Yeah.
wouldn't they have seen wouldn't they have felt the blood on it before they did?
I think they thought because it was in a wine bottle that maybe it was
Oh, true,
wine,
true. Yeah,
but then it
okay.
turns out to
Okay.
be blood, which I'm like, why is there blood on
Ugh.
the book? But then I'm also like, it, okay, this is all weird because I'm like, Clyde, didn't you put it there? Why don't you just break into the bistro and then like get it and leave? Like why? And then now you want digital copies? Like you asking too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this book behind this bush. Come get it.
Come get it. Too easy.
It's above me now.
Mhm.
Like don't be asking me to do all this stuff and bend over backwards and hookah and all this kind of stuff. Come get your book. You the one that put it here. Stupid.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Mm.
Oh, and then Xander, of course, like you was just saying, he had to go clear his name. I'm
Mhm.
like, you already cleared. Don't worry about it. Move on.
Well, wasn't that Sarah's point? I think Sarah brought that up too. Just leave it alone. You're cleared. You're out.
They know you didn't do it.
Mhm.
Hmm. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that was your week of days. And we are now going to go into our segment. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. Okay. I thought this was brilliant. I thought this was amazing. I was giving snaps as they were telling the story. I was like, I knew that they had put 2 and 2 together to make 4. They are now at 5 + 5 = 10. And now
Mostly
they are,
Marlena, but okay. Like, let's be real. Like, Marlena solved that, right?
I
Like,
mean, yes, she did. She did. Which is why
sorry,
Deidre
this is a
Hall,
takeaway, but oh,
Marlena Evans Black Robichaux gets my official 3 Snaps Award because when you put Dr. Marlena Evans on the case, she is going to figure it out and solve it. So for that, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh snap! Mm-hmm. Oh my God, this was so good. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Look how she's sitting. Like, yeah, I
I
did
know
that.
she's like, yeah, I did this.
Yeah, I did this. Look at this. I did that. You're welcome.
She's like Mo and
And
Curly over here. They try, but
yeah, but it took me, Dr. Marlena Evans Robichaux, to figure this out.
that's why I'm saying Marlena needs to be on the other end of that life alert, not John and Steve.
Okay.
Marlena,
Okay.
just saying.
All right. And it's now time for
Come on, there we go. Like I hit the button.
Caption that.
All right, this week's Caption That Photo comes courtesy of Holly's Little Tantrum at the Bistro, and this week's caption goes to Shallot Peel, she, her, y'all craze, Jarly, unicorn emoji, at Shallot Peel on Twitter with their caption, I always post great captions and you never pick me, so forget it. Now,
Clearly,
I I'm curious whether this person wrote the caption as though Holly was saying it, or just wrote the caption to bitch that they never get their caption picked.
I
Regardless, it made me chuckle, and that's why I chose it.
I am going to go with you are Nicole and she is Holly.
Okay.
Yep, and she's telling you, I always post great captions and you never pick me, so forget it. And you're sitting there
Stomp,
like,
stomp, 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 stomp.
yep, that's how that goes.
Well, there you go. That's how you get picked.
And that has been
Caption that.
now we don't have a those were the days because today Justin isn't here. Nor do we have it's a gift because the gift that Araceli gave us is that she's not here. So wait, that sounded bad.
I'm like, Jesus.
GIF as in GIF, not GIF as in GIFT. Y'all got it. Anyway, we're just going to move on to this.
News and gossip.
Oh no, where is it? Okay, I'm gonna do news and gossip for y'all this week. So strap, strap, strap in.
Excuse
Okay,
me?
strap on,
Excuse
whatever.
me?
Strap in, strap on, whatever. All right. Well, as you may have seen, this past Monday was the annual Met Gala put on by Anna Wintour and her camp of whatever. This year, Days actually had representation at the Met Gala because Jessica Serfati, who plays Sloan, and her
Serfati.
husband, excuse me,
I think it's Serfati.
Serfati. Okay, Jessica Serfati showed up in this floral ensemble by Dolce & Gabbana and attended the event with her fiance, Leonardo Maria Del Vecchio. Jessica commented on Instagram simply that she had always wished for a moment like this.
A
Some
moment like
people
this.
wait a lifetime
Some people wait a
for a moment like this.
lifetime for a moment like this. Some people search forever for that one special kiss. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh,
Anyway, this was her dress, and the theme was some kind of like garden of something. So
florals.
hence the floral ensemble, which she kind of revealed to be a little more revealing underneath. So yeah, it looked like a fun time.
Yeah.
Next up, if you've missed seeing Miss Lisa Rinna on your TV screen since she hasn't been on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you should check out one of Lifetime's newest movies called Mommy Meanest. Rinna stars in this movie based on the true story of a mother who secretly cyberbullied her own daughter for years. The movie debuted last night on Lifetime, and you can catch replays on Lifetime or catch it on demand for free on My Lifetime TV, or excuse me, not My Lifetime TV, just mylifetime.com. Mommy Meanest. Not Mommy Dearest, Mommy Meanest.
Man, that my mom.
She got a wig too. That wig is wigging.
Wiggy.
And just a few reminders of upcoming events. This week, Thursday, May 16th, is the Stand Up to Cancer live stream benefit. From days scheduled to appear are Elia Cantu, if she's still in the chat room, shout out to Elia, Brandon Barash, Carson Boatman, Wally Kurth, Eric Martov, Lindsay Godfrey, Leo Howard, and Cassie DePaiva. The benefit will run from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern on the website The Locker Room, Michael Fairman's website, as well as at standuptocancer.org/daytime stands up. If you Google it, if this is what I do, I just Google words and usually I can find something. If you Google Daytime Stands Up to Cancer, the first link will be the link to the site. So check that out. The Hot Men of Days Nashville event coming up September 28th through 29th is still on. For information and tickets, go to starimageentertainment.com to see these Hot Men of Days live and in person, live and in color, live in color. Speaking of men, live and in living color, the Day Players have new dates in Virginia, North Carolina, New York. You can get tickets and their full tour schedule. They're touring all over the country this summer. thedayplayersband.com. Here in LA, a live event taking place May 22nd at the Grove Barnes & Noble. Teo Penglis seducing celebrities one meal at a time. He will be there probably signing books and giving a little Q&A. You can reserve a spot for free on eventbrite.com. If you go to eventbrite.com and search Teo Penglis, the event will come up. Hot off of their event last week, Samantha's Friends, The Golden Age of Hollywood, is coming September 14th and 15th in Florida. You can see all of these lovely faces. You can get tickets, Samantha's Friends, tickets and information. You can go to samanthasfriends.org. Lastly, who better to go to Canada than Eric Martsolf? Eric Martsolf in Montreal, June 1st at the Montreal Airport Marriott Hotel. Tickets and information, you can go to eventbrite.ca/starimageentertainment, or you can call 514-978-5725. Oh, and it looks like Carson Boatman's going to be there too, giving a little acoustic. I don't know if he's going to be playing the instrument we love that he plays. I can't remember the name of it. That's not the sound it makes, but anyway. Carson Boatman, Eric Martsolf, Montreal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was rough, but that was your...
You did great.
I did great, thanks.
News and gossip.
And now it's time to see what's coming up this week on Peacock's exclusive Days of Our Lives.
I have all these feelings for you. Feelings I've never had for anybody.
First love.
Will you marry me?
Forever love.
They found Lee's blood.
And the clues
I came across this notebook.
That's Abigail's handwriting.
that bust more than one case
I think the killings are connected.
wide open.
Gabby is innocent. My sister didn't kill Lee Shin.
I know who did.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh.
And
Okay.
also, I wanted to point out the addition of the two new teenagers. What were their names? Aaron and Sophia. It's
Mhm.
trying to give like last blast.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
even mentioned, they kind of took a
They
dig
kinda
at it.
mentioned
They're
it,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, it'll be better than that Last Blast thing that's in the archives or whatever. I was like, not a dig to the Last Blast. Y'all don't know.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
All right. Well, that's what's coming up. It's going to be an interesting week. And guess what?
Mhm.
We'll be right back here to serve up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Now, before we head out, Michael Mattis, let the kind
Mhm.
folks know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter /X at MLMattis.
And if you want to let Justin Lee Hareld know that he missed all the fun, you can follow him on Instagram, Justin Lee Hareld. Or if you want to tap on Araceli and let her know about the fun she missed today, go to her Instagram or Twitter at Tia323Araceli. And of course, you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. And you can find us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, X, and Threads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Mother Days edition of Dishin Days. We wish all of the mothers, whether you are a mother to humans, fur babies, anyone that you care for, you are a mother to us. So enjoy
mother.
this special day. And of course, a huge shout out to all of the moms, whether they are TV moms or real moms, on our wonderful favorite show, Days of Our Lives. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and including some dads who also have to play both mom and dad. It's your day too. So happy Mother's Day, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your week. Be safe and come on back here next Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another full dish of Days of Our Lives brought to you by Peacock. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Where are the balloons?
And now you're supposed to press the button.